thank the Chair. Thank you, Ambassador. As I mentioned in my opening statement, I want to be very specific about what I'm concerned about, and that is the sale of American fighter jets to Pakistan, or the giving of American fighter jets to Pakistan through military aid. That military aid is then used in the United States to buy those jets. And I use the example of Osama bin Laden. The Pakistanis, the military, hit him out, in my opinion. United States didn't tell Pakistan we're going after him because they'd moved him. We sent helicopters over there. The raid was successful. Pakistan scrambles two American-made F-16s to intercept the helicopters. Americans were able to get away, and there could have been a confrontation. How ironic that would have been, American-made jets used by Pakistan in a confrontation with American-made helicopters in the raid against Osama bin Laden. Now we're again in this issue of more military aid to Pakistan. I understand that there's $660 million in aid going to Pakistan proposed. Some of that's going to be military aid. Supposedly the 8 fighter jets, F-16s, America makes the best fighter jets in the world, is in this package, and it's supposed to be used for humanitarian aid. Now, I don't know how an F-16 with all of its hardware on there for combat can be used for humanitarian aid. If they were buying C-130s, which I used to be in a squadron of C-130s back in Texas, I could see those being used for humanitarian aid. F-16s, it's not really humanitarian aid that they're built for or used for. And are we going to be in the same situation with the sale of fighter jets for humanitarian aid, where we were in the raid with Osama bin Laden, that these jets will be used for other purposes? I don't trust Pakistan. Maybe you do. I don't. We had the former ambassador of Pakistan, Mr. Haghani, here and testified before my subcommittee and says that Pakistan still ends up supporting terrorists. Do they support them in any way? Does Pakistan support terrorist groups in any way? Not just a little, but not just a much, but do they support them? Or are they free from doing that now? Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you, Judge Poe. With regard to Pakistan does have a fleet of F-16s, and they have been developing a precision strike capability with those F-16s, which they have used to considerable effect in North Waziristan and in the tribal areas generally. This is within a framework of our security assistance to Pakistan, which has 6 objectives basically centered around counterinsurgency and counterterrorism. It's our belief that the F-16s have been used very effectively, the precision strike capability to take out terrorist targets, including safe havens that threaten our forces in Afghanistan.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Ambassador, my question
is
very specific. Does the Pakistan military, the government, do they still give a safe haven or support, directly or indirectly, terrorist groups? I mean, they may go after some terrorist groups, but do they still give them a safe haven or a pass? Whatever words you want to use, or are they after all of the terrorist groups? Do we have any assurance one way or the other?
Well, Congressman, with regard to these groups, we have had a very active dialogue with them where we have pressed them repeatedly to take action against those groups that have a presence on Pakistani soil. Including the Haqqani network and the Taliban in general, and also Lashkar-e-Taiba. Their operations in North Waziristan have have had a disruptive effect. They, for instance, uncovered arms caches that belonged to the Haqqanis and were associated with the Haqqani Mosque in Miranshah. I've been to Miranshah and seen some of the results of these efforts, but we do believe that there is more that can be done, and that we continue to press them very hard on that matter.
Thank you, Judge
I yield
Poe.
back.
Ms.